Hi, Group A of Administration and Leadership class. This is Kathleen Bryan, your instructor, and I thought that I would try a little experiment here and give you feedback based on your discussion board week 4 through this video chat. I decided to try this this time because most of the responses in the postings were pretty similar because you had a choice of 2 articles to read. So what I did is I read through everyone's responses and decided to come up with kind of this group message to everyone and highlight some of the similarities in your posts. So in the very first article that you had a chance to read, it was one of the choices, has to deal with early childhood leaders on leadership and lots of interviews with special people in our field on what leadership means to them. And I think consistently most people that read this article felt that you did not ask to become a leader of a program, and many of you have found yourself in that position. I have that exact experience myself, where I was in the classroom and all of a sudden the administrator left, and they were looking for someone to take over that position just for a couple weeks until they found someone. Well, 7 years later, after being the administrator of that program for all those years, I realized, gosh, I guess I really was the leader of this program. So I think many of us enter into the field from that respect, and the first time you realize someone is considering you as a leader is the first time that you have to make a decision. So I think this article really did a great job highlighting that fact that many of us did not choose to become a leader of an early childhood program. Something else that this article really highlights is the role of mentoring those within our sphere of influence. So that could be other teachers, other people that are in our programs that you see some leadership strengths that we can continue to work on fostering that kind of leadership in them. And I think that that's a great idea that we can take forward after reading that article. I also like the quote that many of you put in your discussion board that a leader knows when to lead and when to follow. My example that I used to use with my staff is that, yes, my name was on the license, so that by default made me the leader, but I didn't have a top-down leadership view of that. I viewed myself kind of in the center, keeping all the staff together. So instead of having someone on top and people below me, I viewed myself as being in the middle, holding everything together, and it was my job to support my staff so that that wheel could roll as well as it could. And so that just showed my staff that I was sometimes willing to follow their lead if they had ideas of things, and yet knowing at times I did, the buck stopped with me and I had to be the leader. And something I really enjoyed reading in your post was that people enjoyed the idea of growing into leadership, that it's something that throughout time you're always learning new things and able to adapt new things. And so that idea of growing, never really arriving at that position of, yes, now I know that I am the leader and I don't have to continue learning. It's a way that we can model for our staff too, that we are on this continual journey learning things. I think one of the misunderstandings after reading some articles like this that happens in our field is that people think that the end goal of being a leader in early childhood is that position of administrator, when we know some very, very high quality staff. You are probably included in that mix if you are still in the classroom right now and not in an administrative position, that you can be the best leader possible from the classroom, and that your end goal might not be sitting in that administrator's seat. I believe it's a completely different skill set, and what makes an excellent classroom teacher doesn't always necessarily make an excellent administrator. And we have to really value those that are doing great things in the classrooms if they never ever aspire to be in that director's seat. So I think it's one of those misnomers that you think that you're going to continue rising up the ladder of success if at some point you will either be the owner of a center or the administrator of a center. I think many leaders do the best thing by staying right in the classroom. So then the other article that you had a choice of reading comes from the McCormick Center of Early Childhood Leadership out of Chicago, and some of you might recognize McCormick Center if you have any kind of dealings with the program administration scale. The authors of these articles are the same authors that have written the program administration scale. And this article, if you didn't have a chance to read it, really gives you some great statistics as far as developing leaders and what it really takes. Some of the comments from the discussion board I think that really spoke volumes to people were that 90% of administrators have been teachers, yet 1/5 of them really feel like they were prepared for that role as the administrator. There's not a lot of workshops available, not a lot of classes available to help someone learn to be the administrator of a center. That's why I'm so excited that this class that you're in right now is a part of your associate degree program, or if some of you are moving on towards the bachelor's degree program, that even though this is not an administrative credential that you are taking right now, that this course is embedded in the early childhood degree program. As the article states, that many of you might end up in that administrative position, even if it's not something you're thinking of right now. I do want to share with you that in Ohio, at least, we have a new director's credential, and that has the same NAEYC recognition that this article talks about. And there will be some more information coming along as far as if you want to seek that director's credential in Ohio, what other courses you need to take here at UC. This course you're in right now will qualify as one of the 3 courses if you were interested in that director's credential. The other thing that this article really highlights is that a lot of what you're expected to do as an administrator is very similar to what a principal of a school district is expected to do, yet you have a lot less training. So again, hearing many of your posts speaking to that you wish there were more trainings available, and specifically in budgetary things, which I know many of you are working on this week. There's not a lot of training on that, and here at UC we're in the process of developing some more of those courses. So I'm excited that you were able to take away some highlights from both of these articles. My recommendation is that you print off these articles, because after the end of this semester you might not be able to access these parts of this course. So I encourage you, if you did not get a chance to print off both articles, both of these have some really key ideas if you are ever in the position of leadership and you want to someday quote some statistics, or take some information from the experts in the field. So I hope you enjoyed this video chat, and I look forward to seeing you again in the discussion board next week.